Recoil is the single biggest reason people genuinely stop training with their carry gun. Not capacity, not price, recoil. A snappy, twisting kick that makes follow-up shots harder, discourages practice, and turns range day into a chore instead of something you actually look forward to doing regularly. Here's the physics problem nobody likes admitting. A lighter gun with less mass has less material to absorb the blast, so basic physics says it has to kick harder. That's not marketing spin, that's just how energy transfer works. True zero recoil doesn't exist, and any product claiming otherwise is lying to you. But smart engineering can get remarkably close, using tricks most shooters have never heard explained clearly, buried inside guns they've probably already handled without realizing what was actually happening underneath the slide. Today we're covering 8 carry guns that use genuinely different engineering approaches to erase that painful snap, ending with the one almost nobody talks about that might be the softest shooting carry gun on the market right now. Let's get into it. Number 8. Springfield HELLCAT Pro Compi OSP. This one fights recoil before the bullet even fully leaves the barrel entirely. 15+1 capacity. Width of exactly 1 inch. The HELLCAT Pro Comp uses ports machined directly into the slide near the muzzle, venting a portion of the hot expanding gas straight upward the instant the bullet clears the barrel, but before the slide finishes its full cycling motion. That upward jet acts like a tiny thruster, pushing the muzzle back down exactly when it would otherwise want to flip upward. The result is a compact carry gun that shoots noticeably flatter than an uncompensated pistol of the same size and weight. Rapid strings of fire stay on target with far less muzzle rise between shots, which means faster, more accurate follow-ups without fighting the gun for realignment every single trigger pull. Price approximately $649. Capacity 15+1. Best known for factory compensation that tames recoil before it ever reaches your hand. Number 7. BERETTA 80X CHEETAH. Most modern pocket guns get lighter every year without exception. This one deliberately goes the opposite direction, and that decision is the entire point. Chambered in 380 ACP, the 80X CHEETAH uses a solid aluminum alloy frame instead of polymer, giving the entire pistol real physical mass. That extra weight isn't wasted in bulk. It functions like a sponge, soaking up the recoil impulse before that energy ever travels up into your wrist. A direct blowback action in a featherweight polymer gun can feel sharp and stinging. The exact same action in a gun with genuine metal mass behind it feels controlled and steady instead. Beretta proves something with this pistol that the industry mostly ignores. Sometimes the simplest fix for recoil isn't a clever mechanism at all. It's just enough weight in exactly the right place, applied through decades of Italian gun-making experience rather than a brand new patent chasing a marketing headline. Price approximately $600. Capacity 13+1. Best known for using old-fashioned metal mass to solve a problem most manufacturers try to engineer around instead. Number 6. Beretta PX4 Storm Compact. Nearly every service pistol on the market uses a barrel that tilts downward as it cycles. This one does something almost nobody else attempts. The PX4 Storm Compact uses a rotating barrel system instead of the standard tilting design. When the round fires, the rearward force is partially converted into rotational energy as the barrel spins in place to unlock from the slide, rather than simply dropping at an angle. That rotational dissipation absorbs a genuinely different portion of the recoil energy than a tilting barrel ever could. Shooters who've run both designs back-to-back consistently describe the difference the same way. The PX4 doesn't feel like a sudden shove or a violent jolt. It feels like a smoother, rolling push that keeps your sights aligned for the next shot, instead of forcing you to reacquire your target every single time you fire. Price approximately $600. Capacity 15+1. Best known for a rotating barrel mechanism almost no other production pistol in this class actually uses. Number 5. IWI MASADA. Sometimes the smartest recoil fix has nothing to do with moving parts at all. It's pure geometry. The MASADA was engineered with one of the lowest bore axes available on any polymer compact currently in production. In plain terms, the barrel sits as close to the top of your hand as the design allows, which means the recoil impulse travels almost straight back into your wrist instead of leveraging the muzzle upward the way a higher bore axis naturally does. Combine that low bore axis with a deep beaver tail and an undercut trigger guard, and your hand sits higher on the frame than most competitors allow, reinforcing the same effect from a second angle. The result is a compact carry gun that tracks flatter during rapid fire simply because the physics were solved at the design table, not with an aftermarket fix. This is the kind of engineering decision that never makes it into a flashy marketing headline, because it's genuinely hard to photograph or explain in a 15-second social clip designed to grab attention rather than teach anything. Bore axis height sounds like a technical footnote until you're actually running a rapid string of fire and notice your sights settling back onto target far faster than they do on a competitor with a higher barrel position. Price approximately $580. Capacity 17+1, best known for solving recoil through pure frame geometry, rather than any moving mechanism at all. Number 4. Smith & Wesson M&P 380 Shield EZ. This pistol was built from the ground up for one specific shooter Smith & Wesson felt the rest of the industry had ignored. Someone who genuinely struggles with heavy springs and sharp recoil. Most small pocket pistols rely on simple blowback actions, where a single heavy spring holds the slide closed against the blast, which usually translates into a sharp, unpleasant kick. The Shield EZ in 380 ICP instead pairs a proper locked breech system with the light rack slide, dramatically reducing the spring tension needed to operate the gun safely. The result feels closer to a mild rimfire pistol than a serious defensive tool, without actually sacrificing real defensive capability. That combination removes the two biggest barriers, keeping new shooters, older shooters, and anyone with reduced hand strength away from the range altogether. Price approximately $350. Capacity 8+1. Best known for proving that soft recoil and real defensive capability were never actually in conflict. Number 3. Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7. This one is larger than a true micro-compact, but the cartridge itself does most of the work before the gun's engineering ever gets involved. Chambered in 5.7 by 28mm, this pistol fires a small, extremely fast rifle-like cartridge that produces relatively little recoil on its own, simply due to lighter projectile weight and different pressure characteristics than a standard 9mm defensive round. Smith & Wesson didn't stop at the cartridge choice, though. The pistol uses a gas-operated locked breech system with an internal tube that holds the barrel completely still until the bullet passes a small gas port near the muzzle, letting pressure drop safely before anything begins to move. That delay keeps the entire firing cycle balanced, which means you can run a magazine holding over 20 rounds with remarkably little muzzle rise between shots, even during genuinely fast strings of fire. Shooters who move straight from a standard 9mm carry gun onto this platform consistently describe the transition the same way, expecting some kind of trade-off for the added capacity and instead finding a pistol that stays flatter through an entire magazine than most compact 9mm manage through half of one. Price approximately $780. Capacity 22+1. Best known for pairing an inherently soft shooting cartridge with genuine gas-delayed engineering on top of it. Number 2. North American Arms Guardian 32. This is proof that a genuinely tiny gun doesn't have to be a genuinely painful one. Weighing right around 13.5 ounces total and chambered in 32 ACP, the Guardian uses a true locked breech design instead of the simple direct blowback action most pocket guns in this size class rely on. That single engineering choice matters enormously. A locked breech action manages the pressure curve of each shot far more smoothly than blowback ever can, especially in a gun this small and this light. Real owners who've run both types side by side consistently describe the difference the same way, without exception, no matter which specific model they'd previously carried before switching over. The blowback competitors in this size class feel like they're trying to escape your hand with every single shot fired. The Guardian stays controlled, letting even a compromised or offhand grip keep the sights roughly on target through an entire magazine without the gun fighting back against you. Price approximately $450. Capacity 6+1. Best known for a genuine locked breech action in a size class that almost always cuts that corner. Number 1. WALTHER CCPM2+. Here's the sleeper king almost nobody credits, buried under marketing budgets that all point somewhere else entirely. The CCPM2+ in 3.8. OACP uses a mechanism most everyday shooters have genuinely never encountered before: gas-delayed blowback. A small port inside the barrel bleeds hot gas into a chamber beneath it, where that trapped gas pushes forward against a piston connected to the slide. That piston acts as a mechanical brake, physically delaying the slide from moving backward until the bullet has fully left the barrel and internal pressure has dropped to a safe level. Apply that exact system to a full-size defensive round, and you get a notably smoother shooting pistol. Apply it specifically to a smaller, lighter caliber, like .380 ACP, and something genuinely different happens. The mechanism doesn't just soften the recoil, it nearly erases it. A cartridge that feels sharp and snappy in a typical blowback pocket gun feels almost like a suppressed training pistol once it's paired with genuine gas delay engineering underneath it. The reason almost nobody talks about this pistol is simple market gravity. Every marketing dollar in this category chases high-capacity micro-compacts and flagship polymer duty lines, and a gas-delayed blowback .380 doesn't fit that story, even though the shooting experience genuinely earns the attention those other guns get instead. There's a deeper irony buried in that neglect. This exact mechanism traces its roots back to legendary service pistol engineering that experienced shooters have respected for decades, yet almost none of that reputation carried over when Walther scaled the system down into a genuine, pocket-sized carry option. The engineering pedigree is real. The recoil reduction is real and measurable on paper and on the range. What's missing is simply the marketing spotlight that would tell most buyers this gun exists at all before they default to whatever's trending on social media that particular week. Price approximately $469. Capacity 8+1. Best known for the softest shooting mechanism available on any production carry pistol most shooters have never personally handled. 8 carry guns, 8 completely different engineering approaches to the exact same problem, taming recoil without asking you to give up real defensive capability to get there. Some of these solve it with moving parts. Some solve it with pure geometry. Some solve it with a heavier frame or smarter cartridge choice entirely. And the gun at the very top solves it with a mechanism most of the industry has quietly forgotten even exists, buried under decades of marketing that pointed everyone's attention somewhere else instead. If you learned a new reason your current carry gun feels the way it does, that's exactly what this list was built to do. Recoil isn't just about how heavy a gun is, it's about which specific engineering decision was made underneath the slide before it ever reached your hand, and most buyers never get that explanation before they've already made their purchase. The next time someone tells you a certain caliber or a certain frame size is simply unmanageable, remember that 8 completely different engineering paths exist to prove that assumption wrong, and at least one of them is probably sitting quietly on a shelf near you right now. Hit that like button if this taught you something about recoil you didn't fully understand before today. Subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this one. Drop a comment telling us which of these you've actually shot, or which one just moved to the top of your list after watching this. Stay safe, stay trained, and judge a carry gun by how it actually shoots, not by how loud its marketing campaign is.